Happy Monday, everyone. This is Martha with Nature Niche, and this week I thought I would share an experience I had the end of this last week and talk to you about what do you do when a bird hits your window. So I had a goldfinch hit one of our windows the other day, and I just thought I'd share sort of what do you do if that happens to you. And you know, despite our best efforts with window clings and UV reflective dots or other measures to prevent window collisions. And for more details on that, refer back to Monday with Martha number 78 about preventing window collisions. It could still happen, unfortunately. And so it's good to have a game plan in place so you know what to do if it happens to you. So in general, the steps are to first find the bird and observe it and its surroundings. The second is to intervene only if needed and it's safe to do so. Thirdly, you want to check the bird for significant injuries. And fourth, keep it safe and give it time to recover. And lastly, release it or take it to a licensed wildlife rehabilitator. So for that first step, you know, some birds, when they hit a window, they're just barely stunned and they may take off right away. So you want to go look for the bird, see where it landed. If it is stunned, they often, you know, don't fall too far from the window. And so if you do have one beneath the window, or if it hit your glass door or something like that and is stunned, you know, it may not be alert or moving, so you want to check for that. And you want to check to see if the surroundings are safe and free from predators, or like what are the temperatures? Is it a warm day? Is it a cold winter day? Think about that. And how is the bird acting? If it's sitting upright on the ground with its wings folded or slightly drooped, it's probably just stunned. And if you don't have to, if you don't have dogs or children or neighborhood cats, you know, in the area, or you can watch it and know you can keep it safe, it is completely fine to let it recover on its own. However, if there is a threat of predators, if you have pets you need to let out, you have kids running around, or you know, the bird is unconscious or laying on its side, then you're going to want to consider moving it to a safe location and helping the bird sit upright. Birds can't breathe correctly if they're collapsed over on their side, so you don't want to leave them that way. And so when you're making that decision to intervene or not, you also want to think about what kind of bird you're dealing with. For large birds like herons and gulls and any size raptors, even the little kestrels, those should be handled by a trained wildlife rehabilitator. You could get hurt. Their beaks and their talons are very sharp. They could hurt themselves, you know, struggling with you, trying to move them. So it's really important, if you have one of those larger, or raptors, hawks, you know, things like that, to call an expert right away. If you're dealing with small to medium sized birds, one thing you need to do is decide, do I want to wear gloves? That's recommended, but if you don't have a pair handy, you know, you can use your hands, just with caution. And you're going to want to approach the bird slowly and quietly, and be ready ahead of time if it's going to need additional assistance. So have a box or a bag, something with a lid, or something that can be closed but still has ventilation, proper ventilation, so that the bird can get enough air. And you want it to be big enough so that the bird, once inside, can move around. And you'll want to be prepared and have it lined with, I have my demo bird here, this is not a real bird. Have it lined with like a towel or a cloth that you arrange in like a donut shape to help prop it upright. Tissue paper, you know, something that'll hold its form and help the bird stay upright. So you wanna have those things handy. And then So once you have all of that in place, go ahead, do step 3, observe the bird for injuries. So if it's stunned but the eyes are clear, doesn't look like there are any major damage to the wings, you can try letting it perch on a branch, set it up, see if it can sit upright on its own, perched on a nearby branch, and let it just recover on its own. Now, if you see signs of broken bones, a wing hanging at an odd angle, cuts, blood, like missing feathers can be an indication of a more serious injury, or discharge from the bill, then if you have any of those signs, you're going to want to gather up the bird, get it in a safe place, and contact a wildlife rehabilitator in your area and get it medical attention as soon as possible. Bones need attention within minutes or hours to heal properly without surgery. So then the 4th step, you're going to want to place it in a dark container. Shoe boxes with holes poked in it work really well for ventilation. And so doing this, setting the bird in, propped, sitting upright, and closing the cover, and you want to do all of this outside. That darkness actually helps soothe the bird, keeps them calm. And once the container is closed, you can take the bird into a quiet, and if it's cold out, a warm place inside, and give it 15 minutes to recover, or seek medical attention immediately if you have a bird with those signs of injury that I mentioned. You never want to take them inside without the container covered or closed. You never want to check on the container inside, because by opening the lid, if they're feeling better, they could flush out, and then you have a bird inside your home. So, and that they'll just freak out more and could hurt themselves more. So never do that. Always be outside and in a safe release location when you go to check on your container. You never want to offer food or water, or to try to give the bird any sort of medication. You really want an avian specialist to do those things, a trained professional. You never want to keep an injured songbird as a pet. Migratory birds are protected by the Federal Migratory Bird Treaty Act, and so you are not allowed to keep or possess them without a permit and proper training. So it's not in the bird's best interest for you to keep it and get it used to humans. It really needs to go to a professional rehabilitator. So then the last step, with no visible injuries, you want to take your container outside every 15 minutes, open it up, and give the bird a chance to move. And you want to repeat that roughly every 15 minutes, give it a chance to fly off in a safe location. And if it hasn't recovered in about 2 hours, it's still acting stunned, it's time to take it to a wildlife rehabilitator. And as you're doing that, if you have it inside or you've got it in the box, listen for sounds of movement, signs that the bird has recovered and is ready to go. Just please know, if you decide to intervene, not all birds will recover from a window collision. Some may die, be prepared to take it to a wildlife rehabilitator if you do intervene. I'm going to provide a link to all the different state wildlife agencies, and your state wildlife agency will keep a list of licensed wildlife rehabilitators in your area. So I think it's helpful if you have a plan. You can keep a container kind of ready to go, especially if you have problem windows, and know where your wildlife rehabilitator list is. stick it on your fridge or have the file saved on your computer, so that you can act quickly if you need to. But we had a goldfinch hit our window in the winter. I scooped it up and held it in my hands to warm it. I think I had it maybe about a minute, and by the time I was thinking, okay, it's all right, seems stunned, I might need to go find a box, it decided it was ready to fly off. But I hope this helps you be prepared if you do have a bird hit your window. Take care and have a good week.